So thanks so much, Dorota. That was a lovely class. And for anybody who was, depending where you're coming to these videos, it's very different to some of the other classes that are on there. That class is one that you've delivered many times to language school students. So what's the difference? Tell me what kind from a language school.
Correct. Thank you, Laura. Exactly. So what's happening in the language school is that we have a lot of different kids, different nationalities. Some of them do come with advanced language, English. Some of them do not. And after our first or second class, I noticed that the language which I was using at the normal class did not work and did not land. So all the beautiful embodied language which we have in our practice unfortunately did not work. I needed to simplify it. I needed to bring more energy into the room, and I needed as well to show all the poses, because sometimes it just didn't land what I was talking about.
You've also taught this class outside, I believe.
Correct. So the class because the weather was beautiful, we were very lucky, and we could teach outside and inside. Classes varied. Sometimes there was 25 people in the class, sometimes there was 60. So it all depended on the group. So to manage 60 people who do not speak the same language, and they do speak between themselves, we have to remember about that. They do chat in Italian, Spanish, and so on. So there was a lot of, I wanted to make sure there is a high enough energy in the room, because they do come quite hyper after a full day of lessons and different exercises which they had during the day. So the sun salutations which I did, I specifically did them only for this purpose of the class once, but normally we would do them 3, 4, 5 times, depends on the class, to make sure that the energy will lower down and that they are more than cooperative and more responsive, because I didn't want to have the situation that half of my class was done, please do not chat. So that's why I used the hand. And then when I was using the hand, even when one person spotted, the second person was doing that as well, just to keep and make sure that there is a proper calmness between. The outside was gorgeous in a way that when I was doing Shavasana, I could do longer Shavasana than 2, 3, 4 minutes, because there was a beautiful sky above us. So I used the nature and I used the energy from the nature to bring it to the class. So I was able to say, for example, that look at the beautiful sky above you, and you can keep your eyes open or you can close them, but appreciate what you have around you. Thank you.
Is anybody any questions from that class specifically?
The music choices, how do you make sure that it's relevant for the group that you have, in your case?
Correct, thank you. So at the beginning, I use quite specific music, which is played here, but I did notice after the first or the second class that it didn't land. The kids were not able to associate themselves with that music. So they do have a disco once a week, and where they put proposals of their own music. I saw that list and I was able to pick a specific, in this case it was Italian music, which I played at the beginning, and then the most kids engaged. So it's more adjusting as you go, and not to be so rigid in the class plan.
And so you opened the space, they arrived into the music and they kind of got them.
Exactly.
As they combined as a group.
Exactly. So the group which comes to the room, they usually spend the day with themselves. So first of all is they go collect the mats. It takes a little bit of time when the mats are placed in the appropriate persons, because I absolutely insisted on putting them in the circle so the ball can flow properly between people. And then the music was already there. I just louded it up, and then we started the dance.
Also, I think it's worth noticing that there was always an assistant, there was always two.
Correct.
In that environment, just to not have the assumption that you can run 60 people in that class yourself, like,
Correct.
in any way possible.
There was usually an assistant in the room or two, depending on the size of the class, and also because kids, the age varied from say 10 to 17, they all could behave in different way. So in that circumstances, the assistant was able also say to praise kids which behaved very well. So they got the coupons which they were able to hand, and then they were awarded in a proper way.
So just for clarity, so there's two yoga teachers maybe demonstrating in a larger group?
Could
or
be.
One person teaching and another person backing up?
Correct.
As well as the organizations?
Correct. So from our perspective, usually there will be two teachers together, so we would split which section each of us does. So it's less, but if one person is teaching, the second person is able to walk and observe, because we have to remember some of the kids never had yoga in their life. So there is an element of safety which we need to remember about, and it's important to go around the room and have a look if they are actually doing the poses in a proper way.
We can do another talk on actual language school, but that's a change from what we did the previous year, where the two teachers were separate in different rooms.
Yeah.
So it seemed to work better, two teachers together.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you probably noticed we did the work in pairs, which we are going to do in a separate video.
Great, brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, see, it's completely different.